I wanted to talk next about real estate contracts. And, this is not legal advice. I'm not an attorney. I gotta get my disclaimer in there. But, there's a lot of misinformation about what people expect to see in a real estate contract. And there's really 3 or 4 different kind of standardized contracts that realtors are allowed to use. We're not allowed to, we're not allowed to lawyer. So we have to use forms that have been approved by attorneys or been approved by the Board of Realtors, and then we can write in things that the buyer or seller wants. But when it gets into really lengthy, unique things, we can't do that. And I know that customers sometimes don't really realize that there's other contract forms.
Correct.
Yeah, and I know you guys see that a lot on the listing side where you get offers that are on all kinds of different, if they want to hire an attorney and write up a contract that is completely unique, they can do that too, but I think some people don't realize the uniqueness of the contract, and a lot of people just don't read them.
Yeah, surprisingly they do not read them, and there are more than just one option out there. If you don't like the contract you're receiving, or if it's worded differently, there's always another option that you can ask your agent about.
Yeah, and you can strike terms and you can change them. I think that's really, something that's important, but also reading and understanding them. So many people don't read and understand them, and then we got people calling us and complaining about something, and it's like, go to page 4, line 57, and read that. What does that say? That means that that's what we're allowed to do. You can't stray from that. That's the contract.
Yeah, or at least ask questions if you don't understand. Maybe people are embarrassed because they're not understanding it.
They don't know what it means.
They don't know what it means, but that's why you have an agent. You're hiring them to work with you, to represent you. They're there to explain everything.
I think the same thing goes for a good faith estimate and commitments from lenders. People don't understand what they mean, they don't read them, and then they get confused. I feel like that happens all the time.
Yeah, personally, I think they've gotten more confusing. But
they have gotten more confusing because all the language and the TRID stuff.
They have, but it's important for them to look at that and understand it. It's required to sign 4 days ahead, so it's part of the process.
And I think that the other side of the understanding the good faith estimate is people make assumptions about them. They look at the good faith estimate and make an assumption about insurance or taxes that's on the good faith estimate. That's merely a lender using a standardized number. It's going to vary on every single property.
Yeah, it is. And unless you have an insurance quote, we can't help you, and unless we have a property, we can't put in the property.
And you're going to put in standardized numbers that there a lot of. We've had buyers have the good faith estimate from you, and then go make an offer on a house and find out that the taxes and insurance are going to be higher, and then they come back and say, "But you told me right here." It's like, no, read it.
Estimate.
That is called an estimate. Like yours is going to be different. Now the loan should be on the money, or pretty close to it, the loan cost. But people make that mistake all the time. They just, simply don't read it. So.